steps of an excuse maker, a few of the 12 steps. I will also share with you a few of the 12 steps of a recovering excuse maker. Since you're probably not going to relate to the steps I talk about today, just think of someone you know who makes excuses as we go through this discussion. All right, the first step of an excuse maker. Admitted life sucked, and it's not my fault. There was a time in my life that I knew that my life sucked. However, I also knew it was not my fault. It was your fault, it was your fault, it was your fault. It was my employer's fault, it was my co-worker's fault, it was a friend's fault, family's fault, anyone except my fault. How many of you know people that hate their job? They hate their job, they hate where they live, they hate who they live with, they just hate their life. They know their life sucks, but it's not their fault. Step one of a recovering excuse maker, admitted life sucked and I created every outcome. Step two for an excuse maker. Step two is believe the outcomes of my life are not in my control. When we believe outcomes are not in our control, we have some kind of crazy excuse. I recently was informed that a second grade student still used the excuse that the dog ate their homework. Now, I thought that was an excuse that was well outdated. Certain things I thought outdated. It's kind of like music formats. My 9 nieces and nephews think music format always came on a CD. How many of you know what I'm talking about when I say vinyl? Do I get 8-track? Should we go there? But it doesn't stop in second grade. It continues. I had a supervisor recently share with me a concern that she had regarding one of her employees. Her employee, they're in the healthcare profession, so they wear scrubs, but her employee showed up in an inappropriate attire. What was inappropriate about it? Her shirt was too short, that her belly was hanging out, and her pants were too tight, that the seams were all stretched. And when the supervisor addressed the employee about her attire, do you know what the response was? Well, I didn't have time to do my laundry. Do we dare ask if she had time to shower today? Do we want to know if she had time to brush her teeth? If you're not willing to take that responsibility that is yours, it's certainly not up to other people. How about the people that don't have money to pay their bills, but they want to show you their new tattoo? Right? Or their new piercing that you don't want to see where it is. You know, life got better when I adopted step 2 of recovering excuse maker. Step 2 of recovering excuse maker, believe I control every outcome in my life. Now that's not to negate divine intervention or pretend to be a demon. But in other words, we've got to take responsibility for the choices we're making and the outcomes then that we experience. Step number 3 of an excuse maker. Decided nothing in life goes my way. You know, the people that go along and they say, well, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Well, not at that rate. People that go along and they say, oh, it figures. Figures. Drop this. Oh, figures. This always happens to me. Figures. And everything is a negative twist on it. This last week, I was returning from a speaking engagement in the airport and headed to baggage claim to pick up my bag. And I overheard a gentleman just as casual as ever say, oh, well, with my luck, my bag probably won't make it. I'm thinking, what attitude am I? But he said it as casual as, well, what's the weather like today? And the point is that we all get caught into this idea of letting excuses infiltrate our lives so much that it becomes common conversation. And we're not even aware of the destruction that it causes. Life got better when I adopted step 3 of a recovering excuse maker. Decided life unfolds according to my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions. Folks, our thoughts become our reality, whether you're aware of it or not. And it's simply a thought that has been thought over and over and over again. That's what becomes our beliefs. Anything that is our beliefs is our actions. Step 4 for a recovering excuse maker. Step 4, clearly identified why other people's lives weren't effective. You know the people that go along and they say, well, if she would only do this. Dave, if you would do it the way I say it. Betty, if you would do as I say. If these people would do what I say. And did you notice these people that are quick to tell everybody else what to do are not even applying it themselves? And And if they are, and that's their idea of effective, you want no part of it. They're all looking at you. What's going on?
I don't know, it isn't my fault.
I don't think so. When I do my communication workshops, I get people that show up that are complaining about complainers. They're talking about their coworkers, their customers. That's all they do. They complain. From the moment they see them to the moment they leave. They go to the restroom. They go to the break room. They're complaining on and on. And when they're finally done talking, I'm really tempted to pull out a mirror and say, could you look here? You have to recognize, folks, that you become a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So ain't just... Some of you look a little scared right now. You know, you become a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You know this. What you sow, you reap. Doesn't matter. You're putting it out there. That's what you're getting back. These people that complain about their job, they complain on and on about every job, every aspect of their job. And if you make the mistake and you ask them, well, why don't you get a new job? Well, at least I got a steady paycheck. I got benefits. You're tempted to say, try being a benefit. Life got better when I adopted 4-step of a recovering excuse maker, which is to clearly identify what wasn't working in my life. Here's my suggestion, folks. If it's working what you're doing, keep doing it. If it's not working, that's where you have to make the adjustment. That's where you have to make the modifications. Does it feel good? Of course not. But does grumbling feel good? Does that help you at all? Yeah. So it's a choice. It is simply a choice we make. Step 5 of excuse makers. Admitting my problems would be solved, or at least lessened, if people, situations, and things were different. They're complaining and they want somebody else to be responsible for their choices. Life gets better with step 5 of recovering excuse makers. Admitting my problems were a direct result of my choices. The bottom line is, folks, we make excuses for our life not being as we would like. And then we blame everyone else. We got to stop blaming and take responsibility. We make excuses for not having enough time, and not having enough money, not having enough energy to be effective to achieve what we want. But time isn't an issue. How many of you have watched any TV in the last month? Yeah, surf the internet, listen to the radio. It's not that we don't have time. Time is the one equalizer. Effective people have no more time than people who are not effective. You want to gain more time in your life? Don't watch TV for 1 week. I actually had a woman almost fall out of her chair when I suggested it. Not enough money? Money's not an issue. I travel across the country on a regular basis, which means I'm eating out a lot. And restaurants are busy. It doesn't matter what night of the week it is or what area of the country it is. Sports. How many of you are sport fans? All right, I'm a big sports fan. Did you notice that stadiums, arenas, they're still packed? We don't get to attend those events for free. So I don't think that it's money that's the issue. It's our priorities. It's our choices. And I'm not saying to not do any of those things. What I am suggesting is take a look at your choices and the outcomes that you're experiencing. The idea of time and money, I believe you would agree with me that it's not an issue. Why do I believe that? How many of you have ever gotten creative when you wanted something bad enough? True, time wasn't the issue, money wasn't the issue. You did whatever adjustment you needed to do to get whatever it is that you wanted. So the bottom line question is, how bad do you want to be effective? How bad do you want the thing that you're claiming for, or are you just making excuses about it? You got to want it bad enough to do whatever it takes. I believe it's a choice to be effective or ineffective. And some people think, well, wait a minute, who would choose to be ineffective? Whenever you make a choice to not do what it takes to be effective, you are making a choice to be ineffective. You experience the results of your choices whether you're conscious or not. Our consciousness does not determine whether we experience those results. But just because we're not aware doesn't mean that it's not happening. You have to embrace your rights in order to be effective, in order to get the outcomes that you desire. You got to take responsibility for your life. Bottom line, whether you accept responsibility or not, it is yours. It ends up in your life. So the next time that you feel an excuse overcoming you, tempted to use an excuse, simply ask yourself, do I want to be an excuse maker or a recovering excuse maker? Thank you very much.